Sorry, I got interrupted when I was giving you the sons of Jacob. So let's talk about these sons, as we know they'll become the tribes of Israel. So the sons, Leah had 6 sons, Reuben, Levi, Simeon, Judah, and Zebulun and Issachar. And then her servant had 2 sons, Gad and Asher. Rachel's servant had 2 sons, Naphtali and Dan. And finally, Rachel had 2 sons that were named Joseph and Benjamin. So here they have the 12 sons. And Jacob took the family back to Canaan, and he ran into Esau there, and he decided then at that point that he was going to pray to the true and living God. Jacob had a turnaround moment. Jacob had a born-again moment. Jacob had a time that he was going to seek God for really the first time in his life, that he'd be true to God and seek him and what to do next. Now, he was afraid for his life because he thought that Esau indeed would kill him. So he prayed and he prayed to be delivered, and he had this dream. They had gone through Shechem, the area of Abraham, and Bethel, another area there. And at Bethel, he built a worship altar. And then he had this dream. And in the dream, an angel of the Lord came, most likely Jesus. And he wrestled with the angel, or Jesus. I believe it was Jesus in his dream. And he wrestled with him all night, to the point where they wrestled so hard that he had knocked his hip out of joint. And he woke up and his hip was out of joint. But Jacob gave in to all of his ways and his thoughts and his conniving moments. He finally gave in to God. What does God do? He changes his name to Israel, which means governed by God. His name, new name written in glory. New name, Israel. Israel, his name. So Jacob goes on and he sees Esau again, and God changes Esau's heart. Yeah. God changes him, and Esau was kind to him. Very unusual, but very like God, huh? And so as we go on, we find the story, and it goes on, and this is the end of the chapter, but the chapter doesn't stop in history. But Rachel, she dies in childbirth with her last child, Benjamin, in Bethlehem, and he buries Rachel in Bethlehem. When Leah and Jacob died, guess where they're buried together? In Machpelah, where his father Abraham was. And Isaac, when he died, he's buried in Machpelah. But Rachel, her story goes on, for Bethlehem becomes a very important city, as you know, in history. As a babe that would be born way as the years go by from then in Bethlehem. And what would be his name? Jesus. So we'll go on from here in history. One of Jacob's, Israel's sons, was named Joseph. And he has a great story because we find Joseph moving them to Egypt. And Abraham's vision about his descendants being slaves in Egypt for 400 years later on will come true. History goes on. So intriguing, so amazing that all of history is his story, God's story. As he goes on, you see all these people on the sideline, worshiping other gods. But you see God chose a man named Abraham out of Hot Tub City, the Ur of Chaldeans, his friend. making altars, worshiping God, pitching his tent wherever God wanted him to go. That's Abraham's story. And then the promised child, Isaac. And then from Isaac, a promised child. Not the firstborn twin, but the secondborn would be the blessing of Israel, governed by God. So the story's going to go on, but maybe down another lesson or two, hey? How exciting! I can't wait. Bye-bye.